Every AI generated design you've seen this year looks exactly the same. Purple gradient, interfont, 3 cards in a row, a blinking status dot in the corner like it's trying to convince you something's live. I call it AI container soup. Same tool, same model, wildly different result. And if you've been prompting your way through Claude, ChatGPT or any design tool this way, your output looks like everyone else's. The difference isn't luck, it's 5 specific moves in order. Hey friends, welcome back. By the end of this video, you'll know how to stop Claude from defaulting to generic output and force it to build inside a design system that looks like your brand, using a real project we are building live. A project dashboard workspace start to finish. If you're new here, I break down AI tools the way I'd want a colleague to explain them to me. No fluff, only what moves the needle for your work. This is the first entry in a 3-part build, taking one project from a blank canvas to real shippable code. Quick ask before we dive in. If this video is useful to you, please like, subscribe or leave a comment. Before Claude draws a single pixel, we are going to tell it what on-brand means. Because a blank prompt box is exactly how you end up with container soup. Watch what happens with zero context. I'll type, design a project dashboard workspace with navigation, metrics cards and charts. And instead of generating instantly, Claude runs a quick wizard. Aesthetic vibe, color direction, navigation layout, project type. Most people rush through and mash decide for me on every question. So that's exactly what I'm doing. This is the honest default path, not a straw man. That's your baseline, functional, forgettable. One quick note before we fix it. There's also a code category for connecting a live repo and the design category with Figma upload and the reusable design system. Both are genuinely early. The design system option alone has more than one entry point right now, and they behave differently. That's a video of its own. Today, we are going deep on files. Here's how you get your brand in. Open the plus menu, go to Files, attach a real design token file. Colors, spacing, fonts, all defined. If you want a copy of this exact template to use as a baseline for your own designs, leave a comment down below and I'll drop you the link. Watch the activity log. Reading design-tokens.json. Not a flashy pop-up, an honest line telling you it's parsing your file before it draws anything. Run the wizard again and notice it's not asking about colors anymore. It already knows that. Now it only asks what it couldn't have known. What kind of projects this tracks, what goes in the nav, what the metrics should emphasize. Using that imported system, I'll prompt for the real structure. Left navigation, a main metrics area. Interactive component cards. Same tool, same model, 5 minutes of setup, a completely different result. This is where Claude Design stops feeling like a chatbot and starts feeling like an actual design tool. 3 ways to edit what you see, and knowing which one to reach for saves you real time and real tokens. Macro changes go in chat. Convert the metrics cards to a dark mode variant. Broad and structural, that's a chat job. Micro changes go through inline comments. Click an element, leave a precise note. Tighten this padding to 8 pixels. I ran this twice back to back. 8 pixels, then 12. Both landed cleanly. Now, something worth knowing before you double click anything. This header looks like plain text. Overview. Look at the content field. That's not text, it's a live variable, bound to whatever section you're viewing. Edit it directly. And you don't just change what's displayed, you override the binding permanently. I switched sections afterward and the header stayed frozen instead of updating. Good news, nothing's saved yet at this point. Hit discard and it's like it never happened. One more heads up, these repeating project cards are flagged directly in the interface as code driven. Claude tells you to use markup here, not a direct edit. So, most of what looks like plain text in a generated interface runs on data underneath. If you want something safely editable by hand, it's usually the content you typed into your own first prompt, not the template Claude built around it. Claude Design has an annotate mode, and it's smarter than a sticky note. I made this mistake semi on purpose. Left a note on a metric label, not a real button. Needs a loading state. Watch what happens. Plot didn't file it away. It caught the mismatch and asked what I meant. Annotations get read, not just logged. Right element this time. The plus new project button, same note. Plot confirms. Added a to-do comment above the button. No functional change. Here's the part that matters for next video. That note doesn't sit in chat history. Export as standalone HTML. Open the file, search to do, and there it is. A literal comment sitting directly above the button's code in the actual exported file. That's the whole point. When Claude Code reads this file, that comment is the first thing it sees. Quick practical one. This affects both output quality and how fast you burn through usage. You don't need to leave your project to change models. The switcher lives right in the chat box. Sonnet 5 is the default, not Opus. Haiku 4.5 for speed. Opus 4.8 for the most capable output. Same prompt on both. Haiku 25 seconds. Opus 36 seconds. Honestly, that's a smaller gap than I expected going in. Not instant versus slow. More like 11 extra seconds for meaningfully more polish. But it's real, it's consistent, and it compounds. Rough out early layouts on the faster model. Switch to Opus for the pass that needs to look polished. One habit and your weekly usage lasts considerably longer. Most people skip this feature or use it wrong when they try it. Toggle on tweaks. Here's the surprising part. I didn't click a card first. I typed a plain description. Turning a dial and watching it update live. And hit add. I didn't pick the element. Claude did. It chose the budget utilization card and wired a control to everything at once. The number, the trend arrow, the color, the minibar chart. The panel opens floating, not on the card itself. See that? Budget utilization. The exact variable name, live percentage right there. Drag it and everything updates together. Live. Zero regenerations burned. This isn't just about a good looking layout. It's a fast, cheap second opinion or a live adjustable prototype on any interface you're responsible for. Our workspace is polished, on brand, ready to leave Claude Design entirely. Share, then export, then more formats and apps. Scroll to your destinations. Claude Code is already there, connected, with its own send button. Worth pausing on. Claude Code isn't the only destination. Vercel, Netlify, Replit, Canva, Adobe, half a dozen more. This isn't a one-way pipe to code, it's a hub. We're heading to Claude Code next, but that's our choice. Click Send. A model opens with two paths, local coding agent or Claude Code on the web. And it already wrote the prompt. Import the zip, read the readme, implement the file. I'm choosing download zip instead on purpose. That's the path built for anyone without a live connector setup, so everyone watching can follow along exactly. That's the bundle, ready to go. In the very next video, part 2 of this build, we are opening Claude Code, pasting this exact prompt, and turning this layout into real, shippable code without hand translating a single pixel.